Now, I know it's a very tough decision buying a tablet, and I know people are split 50-50 between Android and Apple. So today we're gonna break down the two best devices from each category to make it simple for you guys to make your choice. If you're a Samsung viewer looking for a Samsung tablet, anywhere along the timeline down here, you'll find the Samsung review. If you're an Apple fanboy and looking for the best Apple tablet, anywhere along the timeline over here, you'll find the Apple review. So let's get started with Samsung, and we're looking at the two devices. One, the most expensive and premium, and two, the lower budget end. We're going to be able to tell which one the best is out of these Samsung devices pretty quickly, and it is unfortunate that it is the higher end model. So we're going to be comparing the A7 tablet and the S7 tablet. The S7 tablet being the more premium version than the A7. The A7 can come in anywhere from about $400 to $600, whilst the S7 comes in at a whopping $2,000 at its premium price tag. But if you want to get into the intro version of the S7, it is still about 1,200 Australian dollars. So the S7 is significantly more expensive, but for a reason. If you've ever used a cheaper Samsung tablet, you know that they are absolute garbage after the first year. They start to slow down and they become unresponsive. The S7 tablet is hopefully not a device that you will be able to see those sorts of results with. It is a premium tablet, it's like their Samsung premium phones, and they last a very long time, thankfully. Between these two devices, the A7 only comes with 3 GB of RAM, whilst the S7 comes with 6. From an architectural point of view, it's important that these tablets have a number of elements. One, fast RAM to be able to determine and read all the drawings that we need to bring up. Two, fast charging, because we run out of battery so often and you're going to be using it quite often if you do buy one. And three, S Pen support or any type of pencil support is mandatory in my personal opinion. So between the two devices, the S7 comes with 6 GB of RAM, the A7 comes with 3. The A7 only has 15 watt charging, whilst the S7 has 45 watt fast charging. And at the end of the day, they both support S Pens. So to break down those three categories alone leaves you with the simple decision that the S7 is a much better device for what we do. You're going to be able to open up PDFs a lot smoother, a lot quicker. The 120 Hz refresh rate screen on the S7 is going to be absolutely premium, and you're going to be able to see all those small details when you zoom in. The A7, on the other hand, only has a 60 GHz screen, so it is significantly more blurry when you're looking at those finer details. Overall, we're looking at double, if not triple the price of the A7 to the S7 in order to actually get what you need as an architect. Unfortunately, we do use quite a bit of RAM and we do require quite a bit of power from the tablet. If you're just using it for notes and general markups, the A7 is probably fine, but be wary that it's not going to last too long and you will have to upgrade relatively quickly. If you're looking for a tablet that will last a lot longer, as long as it doesn't have any faults, you don't drop it, blah, 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 the S7 is a much better product. On top of that, you'll also get the added benefit of the S7 having the ultra-wide camera of 5 megapixels. Now, I know this doesn't sound like much, and having an ultra-wide camera isn't the be-all, end-all. However, using an ultra-wide camera in an architectural setting is basically all we do. I run an S20 Ultra right now, day to day, and it is by far the best feature of the phone. Having an ultra wide and going onto site and being able to take a full 120-degree field of view is fantastic. So having that added extra on your tablet means you don't have to pull out your phone and take that extra photo and then merge them and figure them all out later on. You can take it all on that one device. So that isn't a deal breaker, but it is definitely an added benefit of the S7. Now, when it comes down to Apple, we have a much more even battle on our hands. We have the Apple Air that has just been released and redesigned, and the Apple iPad Pro. Now, both of these devices are phenomenal. Both of them will be able to do the job. Unlike the Samsung comparison, there isn't unfortunately a medium competitor that's able to keep up with the S7. So in the Apple world, we have both of these devices which do fantastic things, but there is some key points that you need to be aware of. Now, when selecting a tablet as an architect, you have to keep in mind what we actually do. With a tablet, you're going to be bringing up drawings, bringing up videos, bringing up 3Ds, and you're going to be taking a lot of notes. You're going to be sketching and marking up all over drawings, and maybe if you're artistic, you're going to be able to draw and replicate some beautiful 3D hand sketch renders. So the device has to be pretty powerful to be able to run this. The battery has to be pretty good, and in my personal opinion, the screen has to be perfect. Because if you're going to look at something all day, you're going to want the screen to be as best as possible to make sure that your eyesight stays as good as possible for as long as possible. So the brand new Apple iPad Air comes with the new A14 chip, whilst the Apple iPad Pro comes with the old A12Z chip. Between these two, the iPad Air is more powerful than the iPad Pro, but overall they're pretty much similar. For what we do, you don't need any more powerful than these two devices. Neither one features fast charging, but the iPad Air has 20 watt charging versus 18 watt on the iPad Pro. The difference comes down to price and budget. The iPad Air costs $900 to about $1,400, whereas the iPad Pro starts at $1,400 and goes all the way up to the high $2,000 mark. If you need an iPad Pro, this is a very large price tag to pay when the iPad Air is just as good. So what is the key element that I'm really worried about between these two devices? Well, the iPad Air only has a 60 gigahertz refresh rate, whilst the iPad Pro has a 120 Hz refresh rate. I know it isn't the be all end all, but 120 Hz is so much different. I personally have an iPad Air and we have iPad Pros at work. The iPad Pros are so much cleaner, so much nicer, and just an overall better experience as an architect. The pencil is super responsive on both, so that isn't a comparative factor, but the screen resolution in itself just makes that device the clear winner. And just like the S7, the iPad Pro has that ultra wide camera that lets you capture those architectural angles in the iPad straight away. You're not needing to pull out your phone and take two different devices to be able to capture what you need. So overall, the iPad Pro has those slight advantages over the iPad Air, but if you are on a budget, the iPad Air is more than enough to be able to do what we do as architects in 2021. Anyway, that's all from me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you smash that subscribe button down below. Like I already mentioned, 28 videos in 28 days, so it's a full-on busy month. There's lots of giveaways here and there, but you have to be subscribed to win them. Now, it is usually I will see you next Monday, but being February, I will see you tomorrow.